Hey everyone, I'm Stephanie,
Hey, I'm Meredith.
and you are listening to This Is My Circus. So, girl, what's up?
Circus life at its best. First of all, I'm surprised at how many people are listening to this.
Thank you so much.
Thank
We
you.
thank every single one of you. But I'm so laughing so hard because Dylan and his friend,
Oh my gosh. Are they listening?
they are.
So are Jackson's friends.
So Dylan was like, so I think I forwarded you a picture, a
Yeah,
screenshot.
yeah.
He texted me from class that he was listening and said that he needed to stay up to date in
Oh my
class.
gosh. That is hilarious.
So,
Well, I found out that so one day Jackson came home and he was like, "Hey mom, Dalton, sorry, I'm saying his name, whatever, has been listening." I was like, "Really?" He was like, "Yeah, he's listening in class." Same thing. And the next day he was like, "So Dawson liked it," or Dalton, sorry, I don't know why I said Dawson. Dalton, um, was listening again. I was like, he was like, "Yeah, he was listening while he was practicing lacrosse outside." It's like, oh my gosh.
well,
Hi, Dalton.
thank you, Dalton. Oh, and Caden.
Caden, yes.
Dylan did tell me Caden's listening. So, what's up, Caden?
Hi, Caden.
Actually,
Speaking of,
yes. So you for Caden's little
I did
sister's
apparently,
game.
yes. So, I had actually for that team before.
Mm-hmm. Was
They're
that the one that
purple.
you made the mistake
Yeah,
on?
I made a really bad call in that game the first time. That's the one where everybody looked at me like both teams like,
Wow.
yeah. So sorry about that. But it went better this week.
Good.
So I did two games. I feel like we always talk about the stuff first. You think
I
people
know.
get tired of hearing about it?
No, I think that it's funny.
Okay, so I did the first game, and in the first game, like I I thought I did really good. There was one issue where I was like I called her safe route or whatever, and the little first base coach was like, "What?" And I mean, whatever. But I was just in my feelings a little bit, and
Mm.
I started like doubting myself and whatever. So in my head, the whole time the rest of the game is going, I'm like, I'm going to go ask somebody if I did good. Who can I ask? And I'm continuing to ump the game, but I'm like, I just need some confirmation. Like, just going to go ask them if they think I'm trash. Like, I was just, all this was in my head. And then the game ended and I had a bottle of water with me. So I was drinking my water and I had it like up against the fence behind me. And I kind of talked myself out of that. I was like, be a grown up, you idiot. You don't need affirmation that, you're doing okay.
Sometimes you do.
Well, but listen to this. This was pretty cool. So I walked over to the fence, got my water, and this lady sitting on the bleachers behind me said, "I'm glad to see a woman ump or whatever out here." And I was like, "Oh, thank you." And she said, "I used to ump." And I was like,
Let me ask you
yeah,
real quick.
pretty much. Give me all of your knowledge. But anyway, she said she had I don't know, for like 20 years,
Oh
something
my
like that. And
gosh.
she coached and all this kind of stuff. And she was like, "You made some really good calls out there." And I said, "Did you see the one at first? Was that what she was like?" What she said, "Yeah, that one was good, but then another one back here and da da da." And I was like, I needed that. So
Good.
thank you to that lady who gave me just a little boost of I have no idea what her name was.
But you know what I love about that is like women supporting women or like, just
Yes.
encouraging each other. Because there's
Yes.
so many, I think we've talked about this before. Like, I just feel like everybody has gone like cuckoo since COVID.
Yeah.
And so everybody just seems to have like a chip on their shoulder or everybody's so
Yes.
mean.
She just took a minute to be kind.
Yes.
And I don't know if she saw the tears streaming down my face. No, I'm just kidding. I won't cry. But I mean, just like you said, just to take a minute to support somebody and
Yeah.
say, good job, whatever.
Yeah.
The other thing that gets me too is like when you go through a drive through and you can tell the person's new, they're training, and I always tell them, like, it's okay. We've all been new at something before, just keep with it.
Yeah.
So anyway, that was really nice of her.
That's
But so one of the teams, and then I'll stop talking about this. So they don't really have a catcher. Typically it's a pitcher that's a coach, and the catcher is a coach. So they're just two coaches. Well, this one team, have I told you about this?
Mm-mm.
Has a catcher, and catchers wear all this stuff. Well, theirs is red, and she looks like a little lobster because it's like the red helmet and the shiny red leg things all down her legs and clippity clop, and she walks. And every time, and to be quite honest, I don't know if it's the same girl every time or not because they're all like blonde that play the position. Um, but every time she like gets up and down, they come unbuckled, and it's just one more piece. So the lobster. Every time I see, I can't. Obviously, I think too much in these games because I'm thinking about all these other things. But anyway.
Well, Did
Just
I
update.
tell you, like, so we went one of Dylan's lacrosse games. The other team had like their team colors were like black, white, and red or whatever.
Okay.
And they come out onto the field in these like super sparkly helmets. And Brandon was like, I didn't realize we were at a dance competition.
That's
It
crazy.
was like during the daytime, so like there's it was like glittering.
And
Like
the sun
it
was
was like
hitting them. Somehow, I really like the helmets that are like a matte, but they're still shiny, if that makes any
yeah.
sense. I like the matte a
No,
lot.
these were like
Sparkles.
sparkles. Yes, like sticker fingers.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's funny.
So,
That's funny.
but like all the kids on the team were like, "Those are cool helmets,"
I
and like
know.
all the parents are like,
Yeah.
"Dude, we're getting blinded."
Maybe that was the point.
Yeah.
Maybe that was the point. So, I do have one more thing that I
Yeah.
need to say. So, did you have a nickname growing up?
Like my
Like that
family.
everybody knew you
No,
by?
no. Just my family called me
Okay.
Princess because I was a baby.
Of course they did.
They did,
That's gonna be your name.
and I had like crowns,
Oh
like
my God.
tiaras.
That's pretty
Like
awesome.
my like best friends all knew because like
Yeah,
everybody's at
yeah.
your house, and like we would there was like tiaras. And,
Okay,
yeah.
so I might start calling you that now.
No,
I'm just kidding.
I'm no longer
No
treated
longer.
like a princess.
Right.
I'm like Cinderella now. I went backwards. How does that
You
work?
regressed.
Yeah.
Okay, so I had a nickname growing up.
What was
My
it?
mom started it. I'm hesitating saying it. So my mom started it because when I was born, I just looked like this. This is what she always said. Um, and like everybody knew me by this name. Like everybody. I'm talking like at school, at church, on the street, like everybody knew me by Muffy.
That was on the Patreon. True crime obsessed.
Was it?
Yes. It was it Muffy? It was something like that.
I must have missed that one. So anyway, I have some friends who have been listening to our podcast, and they were like, "I just need you to introduce yourself as Muffy because that's how we like." They still call me that to this day, but I got married and moved away and moved here, so I just made that transition to Meredith.
So you became a grown up.
I'm a girl. You lost your princess, and I lost Muffy. So
Hey
anyway,
Muffy.
hey princess. So anyway, I just thought I would share that too because they were like, "Who's this Meredith that you speak of?" And I was like, "Okay, for you, I'll say it." So anyway,
I'm gonna have to be like, I am Stephanie and this is Muffy.
but I'm so not a Muffy. You know
No,
what I
I
mean?
don't
Like
see
I'm
it.
not that.
Yeah.
I don't even know what they're called. Valley Girl used to be
Yeah.
the word. I don't know.
Yeah.
But anyway, so what's up? What have you been doing?
Oh, lacrosse ended yesterday. They
Oh
went
yeah.
undefeated.
And they beat an
Dorm
undefeated team,
Yes.
right, by like 8?
Yeah, 9.
That's
It was
amazing.
10-1.
That's awesome.
Yes.
Are
So
you still sad?
no, he's really excited because he's going to go to a new school next year
Yeah.
with a year-round lacrosse program. So
Nice.
he's really, really excited to start that
Nice.
transition. So
Yeah.
we'll see.
Yeah.
But there's a couple of programs over the summer that the new coach had told us about, and I think we might do like some one-on-one instruction just
Yeah.
to kind of sharpen up the skills. Maybe.
I'll see him.
But
That's
yes,
good. That's exciting.
that's his passion.
Good. Well, keep him busy, right?
Yeah.
Just keep him out of trouble, keep him active.
We hope so.
Right. That's the goal. One more thing I wanted to touch on is we had some people ask what podcasts we listen to.
We did.
Mm-hmm.
And I put that in my notes.
Did you?
I did.
Look at you and your notey notes.
It's got like a whole thingy.
Oh Lord, you're so organized. I'm over here like just winging it, like looking at things, and you're the mastermind for sure.
I am not.
So what? I mean, we've mentioned TCO.
Yes.
We both love TCO and everything in that family.
I want to be best friends with Patrick.
Yeah, I like Patrick. Oh my gosh! Speaking of, okay, Alexis. Have we talked about her on here before?
She's the team mom.
She's the
Yes.
team mom. So I was talking to her last week, and she's from Boston.
No.
She went to school with him. Yes. Now they were grades apart.
Shut up.
But she was like, that name is familiar. And she looked him up and she was like,
Did she have a yearbook?
I don't know how. I think she looked him up in.
Alexis, we want to see the yearbook.
I think she looked him up in like a, what's it called when you used to go to alumni thing? But yeah. And I know. I think he'd be fun. I like Joey too, though.
Yeah.
I think not.
Yes.
So those are ones we both really like. I also like Moms and Mysteries. It used to be Moms and Murder. I think we have a problem.
Yes.
And then there's some more that I listen to, but I'll let you share some too.
Okay, so this is not true crime related because I was figured
Good.
because we hit on that a lot.
Yeah.
For podcasts, but it is called Another Bite, and what it's about.
Okay.
It's not true crime.
Okay.
Nobody's biting anybody, but they
Vampires.
no, because I do so much marketing and stuff
Yeah.
like that. So I listen to like a lot of like business podcasts too, which is not as fun.
Yeah.
But I get a lot of information. And but
Yeah.
they review episodes of Shark Tank, and then they
Oh.
dissect the pitches, and they
Ooh,
tell how
figure.
they would market it. They tell if they would like buy into the business.
That's pretty interesting.
It is really cool.
You've learned a lot from that.
And it's such a different take, like a
Yeah.
different perspective, and so it gives me a lot of insight onto different
Mhm.
ways of thinking or marketing.
Yeah.
Dylan just walked in.
Hi, Dylan.
He walks in dancing. Would you like to say hello to the world? No. Okay.
Not today.
No. Rex didn't even get up.
Mm-mm.
He ate a bee today.
And his face isn't swollen.
No, so I'm just like hoping like
He'll be fine then.
he's okay.
He would have. It
He
would
spit it out. So like he's
Yeah.
like he was like this. And then the bee like just went.
Poor little bee.
But it's a really cool podcast. So if like you like Shark Tank, which I mean we watched that
Yeah.
from when it started, and
Yeah.
Dylan takes a marketing class at school in the high
Nice.
school, and they watch episodes of Shark Tank and kind of like review
Yeah.
the pitches and stuff too.
Okay.
So that's a really cool podcast if you're into Shark Tank or marketing.
Yeah. So I also listened to one and I forgot the name of it. I'll look it up while I'm talking. But I think I mentioned this before, but I don't think we've aired it. It is about just like fashion.
Yeah.
And
Yes.
just like how to try to dress for it's called Style by Mary Michelle.
Oh, we did talk about this
yeah.
because we said we were going to go to Paris so I could eat bread.
Yeah, so she's out of Raleigh. She owns a boutique and she just teaches you how to like dress for your body type and that kind of stuff. So that's a nice little escape from all of the darkness that I listen to.
But I do listen to a little bit.
I do too. There's another couple I like Criminal Profile, I think is the name of it. Like these people are like profilers and they do these things. So there's a ton out there.
And I love Rotten Mango.
Yeah, I've been listening to that too.
Yeah.
That's interesting.
Yeah. So she does a lot of like she does like a lot of like Chinese or Asian.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I've noticed that.
Stuff that I've never heard of.
She told a story that I was listening to. So Rotten Mango, like you said, is the name of the podcast. And I can't remember if I went like back to one of her earliest episodes or it was a later one, but it was about these people in Asia that died in this like an alleyway because there were so many people and they couldn't get through. People were going both ways and they were like stacked up so high and people like suffocated and died.
Oh my God.
That gave me like
anxiety.
Lots of that claustrophobia feeling of all that. Yeah.
No.
I know. And then like the day after that we went to a festival or something. There was a bunch of people. I started having a panic attack, but I'm okay now.
You know, a lot of true crime podcasts hit on a lot of the same stories, and you get a lot of different perspectives. So it's really cool to hear about all over the world.
Well, like that particular story, I'd never heard of that before.
No, and like she had one. It was like in Russia, I think, where there was like a serial killer in Russia, and like I'd never heard of that. So she does a lot of really cool different podcast or episodes of different crimes.
Things you hadn't heard of before.
It's in Rock Hill.
Awesome. Count me in.
Okay.
I mean, I'll check all my schedules, but I can't think of anything. Okay, so did you read Wrong Place, Wrong Time?
I did.
What'd you think?
So I had actually listened to it before.
Okay.
And I didn't realize I had.
Okay. When I mentioned the name of it.
Yeah. So it kind of like it's like kind of like a Groundhog's Day.
Yes.
With like a mom's worst fear.
Yeah, pretty much. That's a very good synopsis.
Yes. So
did you look up the blurb? Usually look up the blurb. I want to read it.
Yeah. So late October, after midnight, you're waiting up for your 18-year-old son. He's past curfew. As you watch from the window, he emerges and you realize he isn't alone. He's walking toward a man and he's armed. You can't believe it when you see him do it. Your funny, happy teenage son, he kills a stranger. Dylan, don't you ever do this. Right there on the street outside your house. You don't know who, you don't know why, you only know your son is now in custody, his future shattered. That night you fall asleep in despair, all is lost until you wake and it's yesterday. Then you wake again and it's the day before yesterday. Every morning you wake up a day earlier, another day before the murder, with another chance to stop it. Somewhere in the past lies the answer, the trigger for this crime, and you don't have a choice but to find it. So I loved the character development of Jen,
Yeah.
the mom.
Yeah.
Because as a mom, like you don't realize the impact that you have
Mm-hmm.
on the family in the
Mm-hmm.
moment.
Mm-hmm.
So as she goes back in time, she
Mm-hmm.
is seeing what she thinks is mistakes or what she
Right.
perceives as
Right.
missed opportunities.
Yes. Yes.
Or she realizes some of the things that she does that impacts her child.
Mm-hmm.
So I like totally felt her
Yeah, I agree.
on that.
Yeah.
Like you don't realize.
You don't realize the like you said, missed opportunities or just communication that you should have done differently, the woulda, coulda, shoulda,
Yeah.
right? Like all those things.
She's a working mom, so she
Yep.
had that mom guilt, and as she went backwards, she like really felt the
Mm-hmm.
impact that she was having with
Mm-hmm.
that. So I really, really felt her in this book.
Mm-hmm.
And I did like the twists, but
Yeah.
I mean, it wasn't my favorite book, but
Right.
I did like
But
it.
it was interesting.
Yeah, no, it was a totally
Right.
different type of book,
Yeah.
storyline.
Which we kind of needed because we kind of
Yeah.
whatever. But yeah, so I liked it as well. Were you surprised by the twist at the end with the whodunit kind of thing?
Yes.
Okay. And again, trying not to spoil
Yeah.
anything, but
Hold on a second. Dylan, can you please stop like rustling it over there? We'll be done in like 20 minutes. Thank you.
thank you.
So I thought it was going to go a different way.
Yeah.
I was pleasantly surprised.
Yes. That's
But
a good way to put it. Because I had it in my mind too. And I, we do this, right? We're like, oh, I know who did it. I know, da da da. And then I love it when it flips on me. And that's what this one did. Like, I really thought I understood the point of why this was happening.
Yeah.
And that's the point of the book. She's trying to figure out why she's going backwards. Did you feel like she was like super resourceful with trying to get to like okay, so this won't give it away too much, but like so she's trying to make notes, right? But she makes notes and she wakes up the next day and her notebook is empty. And I'm like, come on, you should have known that.
Yeah. By like the third time. Like,
yeah.
she tries to send herself like the email and
right, right.
I I don't really think this is like a big like spoiler.
Right.
Or what would you have done with her father? Like if you were able. See, my dad passed when I was 16, so like I was like, oh my god, like
yeah,
to be able to go back and
yeah. I mean, I think I probably would have. I don't know because I'm in a little different perspective because my dad died when I was 2 or 3. I really don't even know how old I was. So I don't know how I would have reacted in that moment. What I've tried to have done some. I mean, whatever.
So she was like, super like the butterfly effect. Like, what will this affect?
Right.
So I was like so conflicted
with that part.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Again, like I really identified with the main character.
Yeah.
And so I was like, God,
I think if I would have been so the premise of the book is the day she's going back to have meaning and that relate to the issue that she faces in the opening of the book. So I feel like if I would have gone back to that day and realized what day it was, I probably would. I don't know. Like I'm not going to be here for this. I'm just going to leave.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that was tough. That was tough. I felt like she did a good job of being resourceful though. Yes. I would have been better.
Because you know what? She doesn't listen to all the true crime we listen to.
Right, we're educated in this. We know.
So we are way more resourceful than she was in the book. But
and the other thing I was going to say is how frustrating would that be? Like every time she met this guy that was kind of helping her through her issues, and every time she talked to him, she had to explain because he hadn't met her yet, and like how frustrating would it be? Like, you know me from this, da 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 da.
Here's what you told me to tell you,
right?
So that you believe me.
Yeah. So it was a pretty interesting book.
Yeah, I again not my like 100 favorite, but it was a good book and definitely worth a read.
Yeah, it was different. It's what we were looking for, I think, with something a little bit off the path of what we had been listening to.
Yeah,
and but still kept a little bit of suspense and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Now our next book we already have it picked out, right?
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Big Little Lies.
Yeah. Have you read it before?
I started it like a long time ago. You know, like when you're at the pickup
Yes.
line and like you have nothing to
Yeah.
do.
Yeah.
I would pick it up and put it down, and it was a good it's a good book, but I just never like sat down to read it.
Okay.
Um,
Well, you're committed now.
I am.
Okay.
So I didn't realize, but they also made it into a mini series or something on
Another
HBO.
one?
Yeah.
I feel like everything we're hitting on is
I never watched it. I will
Go back and
definitely
watch
go
it.
because when I saw that right there, and I don't know why I never saw like the little like blur.
Does that say
Right,
Nicole Kidman?
it does, and Reese Witherspoon. Yes, so I need to watch it.
Yeah.
And like as I'm like now when I saw that and I picked it up and I'm reading it and like so now I'm picturing like which characters would be
Right.
Nicole Kidman and
Right.
you know
You're already doing that.
like
thing.
it's all in my head now and you know
Erase that.
I know
Focus on the book.
but the amount that I've gotten into so far is really good.
Good. Good. I haven't started it yet,
Okay.
but I will have it read by our next recording.
And it's on Libby for the book and the audiobook.
Awesome.
So for those of you that are using that,
Yeah,
it is free.
But let me get it first so I can read it because we got to record and then we can talk about it.
It goes by library, so if
Okay.
you're not in Clover, you're safe.
Clever people, let me get it first. But also we had some requests for just like a list of the books that we're going to do. So, you guys have asked for, and you seem to have really liked the books that we've been doing. So we are going to, I was supposed to do it 2 days ago and have it. But we're going to make a list of like the next 3 months worth of books and we're going to put that in our show, not our show notes. We are not that fancy yet.
We do have show notes.
We'll put them in the show, but
we'll put them in our Facebook group. So if you're not in there, get in there because
it'll be in the files.
Yes.
And that way we can just go through, that way you'll know where we are, where we're going, where we've been, all that kind of, we thought that'd probably be a good idea.
Yeah.
But it's show notes. I sounded like I was fancy, didn't I?
But we do have them.
We do have them, but I don't know why I said it like.
Dude, that was good.
Sorry.
Get it. No, like, do it with confidence. We're going to put them in our show notes.
It'll be in our show notes if you need it. And also, if you happen to join our Facebook group, it'll be in there under the files.
Please do.
Please do. It's growing. It's almost 500 people, you know.
Yes. Those 500 people need to listen.
Yeah. Yeah.
So if you're not listening and then you won't hear this. So blooper reel.
Blooper reel is everything.
All right. Did you do your dumb crime?
Oh yeah.
So we did Georgia this week.
We did do Georgia this week.
And I found a doozy.
I really hope we don't have the same thing because we didn't do any kind of.
We almost had the same one for North Carolina.
Oh no. So I try to not do the first story I come to. I try to go a little bit deeper.
Which is probably good.
Probably.
Hurt us.
Okay, so tell me, you want to tell me yours first?
No, I think I went first last time. You go first.
Okay, so a man was arrested for impersonating a cop while directing traffic. Okay, so this was just this March. Let me get to the article, sorry. Okay, you've probably seen a police show where a cop gets fired, but he secretly returns to work because he can't just let go of that case. Well, this is an interesting spin on that. A man in Georgia was arrested for impersonating an officer recently, and it turns out he used to be a real cop, but he was let go several weeks before. The thing is, when he was caught, he was wearing his uniform, casually just directing traffic. Some officers were in the area and they noticed that he wasn't wearing a patch. They asked him who he was, and he said he was an officer for the Talbotton Police Department. They called to confirm, and that's when the officials told him he was no longer working for them. It is unclear why he was directing traffic. He was arrested and taken to jail for impersonating an officer.
Why would you work for free?
Why would you just be like, you know what? I'm going to direct traffic today.
Why? Don't they have to turn in their uniforms?
I guess maybe just the patch and the shield. Well, you know, all the cop shows, you know, they're like on Law and Order. They put their gun and their shield on their captain's desk.
But those are like detectives, right? Like they're not like
yeah,
right?
I guess.
So I have a police officer friend. I'm going to ask her.
Okay.
Yes, she's a police officer in Charlotte.
Always
I'm going to ask her if she has to turn in uniforms if people quit.
Yeah, because I mean, when you work somewhere, you do, unless you buy them like a nurse, so you buy your scrubs, you don't turn them in. But
I don't know. That's weird.
But I was like,
but you're working for free.
And there was no need for him to be at that. So it's not like they said there was a traffic stall and the Good Samaritan jumped out and helped. It's like he just showed up in uniform and decided to be a director of the traffic. It just struck me as so just off the wall. Like he didn't really.
Maybe it's like the power thing.
Maybe.
Like he wants to be like, stop.
Maybe. Well, then go put that power to good use at like be a crossing guard at school or something.
Maybe he was. He was directing traffic.
Maybe it didn't specify.
specify.
It did not. What's your story?
All right, so this came from foxnews.com, and this is in Athens, Georgia.
Okay.
So it won't go down as the most difficult crime they've had to solve. It did take police in Athens, Georgia, several days to track down the suspect in last week's armed robbery, and I don't know what the exact date this was, of a Golden Pantry convenience store. But they had one strong lead. Before pulling a knife, authorities say 28-year-old Demetrius Robinson filled out a job application, apparently leaving his real name.
So
yeah. Investigators say he was trying to kill time until the store emptied of customers. Robinson managed to evade immediate capture by using his uncle's phone number and a phony address. But police say they got an anonymous tip and arrested him yesterday morning. Authorities say Robinson is also a suspect in several other armed robberies. Like, what? Why?
Could you not think of anything better than, first of all, your real name, your uncle's phone number?
I mean,
like, you give him the phone number and change one digit on the end. That's what you do.
No, you just make up a totally random.
Well, that's fine too, but like, sometimes it's habit to just be certain.
I know, like I am smarter than that.
We watch true crime, listen to, and read all the above.
Like, why?
I can't believe that one.
I don't even know what to say. Like,
I know.
Like that is like a whole nother level of dumb.
Right. That's just, he was not prepared to be a criminal that day.
No, I think he needs to stick to his. Probably he doesn't have.
He doesn't have. That's why he's trying to.
But he needs to find a day job that doesn't require.
Maybe he can be a crossing guard.
Don't give him any ideas. He's gonna impersonate a cop.
You're right. Well, he would make a badge. I always drop my water cap.
You do.
And I'm always worried Rex is going to get it, but he doesn't care.
No,
I'll get it later.
Well, where did he go?
He's probably doing. Oh, he's on my side.
Oh, he's protecting us.
He is.
Yeah, so that one took the cake for me. I've read a couple of them, and that one was like.
That was the one. Yeah.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
Leaving your real name.
Like, didn't even shorten it from like Meredith to Mary.
So, like, could you imagine like the lady that is, or I mean, it might be a man, I don't know,
Right.
at the counter, right? And the
Right.
police come in and they're like, "Well, do you have a description? I have something better. Here's
Right.
your name."
And
Like,
his fingerprints are probably on this.
Yes.
So, like, what? We really need to find somebody that's been a quote victim of one of these stupid crimes.
Yes.
I mean, I don't mind talking to the dumb
I'm a victim
criminals,
of like dumb people.
yeah,
But not a dumb crime.
victim of dumb people. We need a victim of a dumb crime because we can interview them.
Oh, speaking of
Yeah.
interviewing, we need to get some guests on.
Okay.
Who would be your dream guest?
Oh, yeah.
Like if you could, like, I mean, it could be a celebrity, it could be anybody in the whole world. It doesn't have to be.
Oh my gosh.
Somebody, you know.
Let's get Patrick Hines on here. Because he would be fun.
Oh my
Oh,
gosh.
there's also this comedian I really like, and I just forgot his name. Matt Rife. Do you listen to him? He is so funny.
Oh my gosh.
He is so funny.
Yeah.
He roasts everybody. I mean, he would pull us apart.
But
he's so
want to
funny.
go to a live show
Yeah.
so bad.
Yeah, I think he's really funny.
Yeah.
Did you see the one where the dude had on a heated vest or a heated
No.
coat? Oh my gosh, it was so
Did
good.
you see where like the dude told on himself for being there with not
Yeah.
his girlfriend?
So somebody that would be entertaining.
Yeah.
Like there's a lot of people I'd like to meet.
Mhm.
There's a lot of people that I'd like to just experience, be around them or whatever.
Experience.
I know wherever that might lead, but but I think that they would be fun. I'm going to experience whoever I want to experience.
You hear that, Brian?
I love you, baby. He doesn't listen. Who are you kidding?
Brandon doesn't either. He just makes fun of us for laughing.
That's funny because we cackle. Is he right up? Oh, because the vent. Does that go up to?
Well, his office is over like on that side of the house, but he said I can still hear.
Of course he can.
These houses aren't built all that great.
No, they are. It's great. So yeah, I think somebody like that would be fun.
That would be fun.
What you got?
Well, now I'm like second guess.
Don't. That's my job, is to always second guess myself. Who were you gonna say?
And I think we had talked about this like previously, but I would love to interview Pink
Hmm.
as a mom,
Yeah.
and she is so transparent about like her relationship with her husband,
Yeah.
through her music,
Yeah.
and like the ups and downs. And like I just think she's so real, and I think she'd be such a cool person to
Yeah.
interview.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, she would be.
she's like super down to earth. She's
Yeah.
not like,
Right. I also would like to, since you mentioned her, and I think when we had talked about this before, Natalie Maines from the Chicks.
Yeah.
I saw them in concert last year. It was a lot of fun.
But I'm with you on the Matt Rife.
So funny.
He is.
And I don't even know if he has a script or he just goes up there and starts roasting
I think
people.
it's just like all like, because I mean, he's not going to know what they're going to
No.
call out. Like,
So I want to go to one of his shows, but I don't want to be roasted.
me either.
No. We need to sit in the non-roasting
Did you
section.
see the, like, you're the one, like, the girl was trying to give her phone number,
No.
and he was like, okay, let me read that back to you. 911.
Oh, that's funny. That's
I
funny.
got a stalker.
It's so witty and quick. I mean, I know that's their job, but
Yeah.
they're hilarious.
Yeah.
They're funny.
So, yeah, that was a good one. I wasn't even on that path, but I'm with
I
you
don't
on
know why I
that path.
went down that path today.
I like it.
Maybe because we were talking about our friend Patricia Hines.
The experience.
The experience. There's a lot of people I'd like to experience. Please take this out.
No, this is totally
Is this gold? Okay. What else?
Let's see.
Oh, special guests.
Yes.
But we need some people that are attainable.
Oh, well, you know.
Okay, so our goal is for next week or in the next couple of weeks to have a special guest.
If anybody listening,
First of all, back up. Is anybody listening?
they are.
Yeah.
Be confident, Meredith.
Hey, listeners. I'm struggling with my confidence today. Okay, so if anybody would like to be a special guest,
Yes, because we rock.
we're a lot of fun. Rex is adorable.
Yes.
Mhm.
And you don't have to live any. I mean, we can just do it as a Zoom, like bring you
Yes.
on as a Zoom and record that way. So, like, you don't have to be in Clover, South Carolina.
Right. Even though I wouldn't even want to be in Clover.
Sweet Jesus. Bless your heart.
Bless my heart. Yeah, that'd be fun. So let us
Yeah.
know.
So,
You can message us. If you're listening, you probably have our phone number, so you can
reach out on social if
Yes.
you don't have our phone number.
Yes, that'd be
and
great.
you have not experienced.
That's not going anywhere soon, is it? If you want to,
I'll get over it by next episode.
no, you won't.
I
You're
might not.
gonna keep bringing it up. That's okay. I'm okay with that.
Okay.
What else? What you got going on?
Nothing. What did you guys do for spring break? Anything?
Oh, no.
So
I mean, yeah, but no.
So our kids' spring break was last week.
Yes. So Jackson went out of town with the kid that I had formerly called Banthony. His real name is Anthony.
No,
I know. I just figured I should go ahead and throw that out there.
That was very creative.
You know, I'm quick on my feet. So they went with Jackson's grandparents to Georgia. Dumb crime, Georgia. But they didn't have any crimes, hopefully. They went to Six Flags. That I know about. So they spent a couple days at Six Flags and then just hung out and did some things. But I will say that while he was gone, Brian, who works for Lowe's Home Improvement, got gifted some tickets from Lowe's to the Hornets game. And the Hornets are so bad.
Oh.
But free food and good seats, and it was fun. So they emailed you like how to get to the box seats. Like it wasn't, or suite, whatever. Don't even know.
I neither.
I'm used to going to the stadium and then you go through the metal detectors and all that kind of stuff. No, they're like
VIP. You were VIP.
Right.
They knew.
They knew. So they're like, okay, go in this door. There's an elevator immediately on your whatever, and then go up to floor whatever, and there's your suite. And I was like, oh, I thought I was somebody.
Well, you were.
I was.
You were VIP.
So yeah. So I was and I am and I'll forever be VIP. So it was fun, but it was fun. I mean, like I said, they were trash, but it was good to just spend some time with Brian and hang out and free food. Yeah. And, just be in an uptown city.
Y'all look so cute. Your picture was so cute.
Well, this girl sitting behind, I don't know, she was in her early 20s, but sitting behind us, because I was trying to do the selfie, she was like, here, I'll take your picture. Oh my gosh. I think she's probably like a supermodel. I don't even know who she was. Brian was probably drooling. But she was like dressed to the nines at this basketball game. Like, and I don't mean like fancy, but I just mean like so put together and all the things. Like
So
her
not
hair was
me.
perfect. Right? Look at this mess up here. But
I think your hair looks adorable.
thank you. Thank you. But I mean, she was just like, here, I'll take your picture. And I'm like, okay.
Yeah.
But anyway, it was a lot of fun. And then we spent some time over that same week doing some spring cleaning and stuff around the house. What did you do?
I did nothing, but Dylan went to the beach.
Did you have a good time?
He did. He had a blast. Him, one of our good family friends, uh, the Fraleys.
Yeah.
Hi, Tammy. Thank you for taking my child. Invited Dylan and one of their other friends.
Nice.
And so Tyler and Jaden were also there, and they had a great week together.
Good.
I don't know how she has her sanity still
Yeah,
because
so, but sometimes when you have more than one, they entertain each other, and all you got to do is just keep feeding them.
you got to keep them alive.
Well,
And
yeah,
like those four together, they're all such good kids.
right.
Um, I just don't know if I would have my sanity by the end of the week because like I'm always like, so I don't know. My ADD. I'm like all over the place.
Yeah,
And so I think it would be like, oh, where are the kids? Like I'd be like,
yeah.
and not that they do anything bad, but like
But just you always have
I'd be
that.
worried about the ocean. And
Oh yeah,
like
yeah,
Dylan said that one day the waves were like 10 feet tall because
yeah.
the
Okay,
storm was coming
yeah.
in or whatever. And I was like,
Well, in school right now, in Jackson's science class, they're studying natural selection and survival of the fittest. So they all came home.
yes,
See, they're fine.
well,
I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. I know.
thank the Lord.
Um, yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
they're
I
like,
hate you didn't get to go.
no. But Dylan had a blast, and we sent him with the money, and like he didn't spend any of it. I think he got his girlfriend a sweatshirt.
Did you get a sweatshirt?
No,
These kids.
he does like after his games.
Yeah.
She goes and like they take a picture. He goes to her first, and I'm like, I'm here. I birthed you. Like you
Right.
grew inside of me.
I read something today that was like, if there's any gentlemen or children listen, no, I'm not even gonna say it.
Okay, well you can say it.
It's funny though. It's funny.
Just say it.
I ruined my vagina for you. You don't even. I thought it was funny.
My whole body.
Yeah. Yeah.
I used to be very.
Used back in the day.
I know. I saw one of our pictures from our honeymoon,
Oh,
and it was like like the fittest of my life. I used to run a lot and be super tiny, and now not so much. But it's all good.
so beautiful.
Thank you.
You are.
I feel run down though.
Same girl, same. Okay. Anything else we need to hit on today? Oh, where do you want to do next week for our dumb crime? You want to do Virginia to keep our southern stuff going?
Yeah.
Okay. And we're gonna do Big Little Lies.
Mhm.
I'm gonna put that file on.
Okay.
So I'll take ownership. Big on taking ownership these days. Oh, one more thing about the Hornets game I forgot to tell you. So we were walking in, and we can end after this because it's pretty fun. We were walking in, crossing the street, whatever. I looked to my left, and I thought I looked right, but I don't know if I did or not. I got hit by a scooter.
I mean, it hurt? Like you fall over?
No,
I
but
like what
no.
happened?
So I was crossing, and I was getting up on like the Rex wants to see himself. I was getting up on like the like the regular sidewalk after the road. You cross the crosswalk spot, and I was getting up on the sidewalk, and like I said, I thought I looked to my right, but I guess I didn't. And this kid hit me just out of nowhere. He was flying. Those ones, it's like the ones that I have that are electric, and you can rent them downtown. And he hit me, and I have this bad habit of overreacting. So I don't even mean to do it, but I was like, oh. I mean, I didn't fall down or anything. And then he looked back and he's like, I'm so sorry. I was like, I'm fine. Like I knew that in my head that I was like doing too much. Like I mean, it really. I should have
What
been.
did Brian say?
He was like, "What'd you walk out in front of him for?"
You did not hug her back at all.
No, no. So that was, it didn't even leave like a bruise or a scratch or anything. And here I am, like hobbling in.
Well,
I'm a little dramatic.
all right. Well, I think you have to get to the school
I
for
do.
the schedule.
I do.
But all right. Well, thank you everybody for listening.
Thank you very much.
Subscribe if you haven't already, and
Please leave us some reviews.
we got a new review.
We did?
We did.
Wait, was it me? Did I
No.
leave it?
I don't think so. Let's use a different name. Totally possible.
I don't even know how to do that.
But thank you guys so much. Those of you who have left reviews, we appreciate it so much. And if you would be so kind, if you haven't already, leave us a review.
Please.
We would love it.
Thank you. Join our socials and let us know if you want to be a guest.
Yes. Oh, and one last thing.
Yeah.
We need to do the ice cream TikTok challenge.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The fruit roll up.
Yeah.
Okay, we'll do
So
it next time.
week, we are going to do that.
Yep. So if you're our guest, hope you like snacks. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.